Welcome to In Pursuit of Truth. I am your host, Sir Patrick Mack. We are going to get right in some stuff. We don't have any new Q posts, but I do want to break something down from my video from last night, and we are on my homepage to show you just what that video is. In Pursuit of Truth presents new QAnon 3/21/18. This is the video I'm talking about. We talked about a few things that are going to be a little bit of precursory knowledge to help you through this video. But more importantly, at the end of this video, there was a video that I couldn't take you to because of my location in the world. We're not able to see it. Well, I am able to see that video on another channel. I'm going to take you to that channel. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to break down that video for you. First of all, I'm going to take you there. We're going to look at the channel. You can watch it in its entirety at that link. But if you're on this video and you want to stay with me, I'm actually going to make a lot of stops. We're going to break down this video, and there's a lot of important reasons. So, firstly, this is the video, and I'm taking you to the page, the YouTube page of Citizens Investigative Report, one of a channel that I really like. She breaks down a lot of things really nicely. She does a lot for the Q community, and I would appreciate it if you do watch this video, that why not go ahead and watch it over on her link, and I'm going to show it to you, and you can watch her analysis too. She deserves all the support and respect that she gets. So this video is taking you to an episode of what is it called? The Opposition with Jordan Klepper. Now this is Jordan Klepper right here, and he's going to take you into a skit. Now before we watch this skit, I need to tell you a few things. Sorry, I'm doing a little research here. Okay, what we're really kind of referring to here is the fact that over these last Q posts, we said the FBI opened a case on Q today regarding boom statements and now the Texas bombings. So meaning that Q is getting more and more attention. And over in this second post, we have this MSM support and talking points shift narrative. You can find all that stuff in my last video, but we're going to reference some of those kinds of ideas. Now, to the video. We're going to watch the video, and I'm going to break this down with some analysis here. Now, please understand that my analysis comes from sort of a different background. My background is as an entertainer. I've been literally a lifelong actor and singer. My first acting job was literally when I was in diapers, and I've been doing it ever since. So I have a lot of experience in how sort of this media is set up, and we all know the media, of course, is trying to kind of drive a message to you. But I'd like to show you some specific ways that this is happening. Why it's important? Well, Q references this very link right here. So Q thinks it's important. And also, if you have friends that are kind of in your social circle that maybe don't really understand the QAnon, sort of phenomenon, or if they're against it, or if as this starts to come out in the media, they start kind of rallying against you or trying to ridicule you, and you really want to show them something, maybe you can show them this video and it'll help give a little bit of clarity as to how this is all presented. Okay, so you're welcome to completely disagree with me, but that's my background, and I'm sticking to some of my thoughts because I do believe these to be true. It obviously is very important because this is the very first mainstream sort of introduction to QAnon. And if you'll notice, it's not on NBC, it's not on CNN, it's on Comedy Central, which means to imply to you that QAnon is a joke. We're going to start right here with the video.
Kobe LeBee has more. What if I told you the world is not as it seems? That what you think you know is wrong? That Matrix references are still cool? Well, for conservatives on the internet, the Matrix is shockingly still cool.
Okay, we're going to stop you here. We open up to obviously a Matrix reference. This gentleman here, I don't know his name, I'm sorry, but I want to point out a couple things about him. Obviously, we know that this is him being Morpheus, and this is from the Matrix, and Morpheus was sort of the little slightly intimidating and yet trusted guider of Neo to find the truth. I would also argue here, and you can say that I'm wrong, but I do believe that I do think this is partially true, that he also looks a bit like Barack Obama, who to many on the far left is also sort of that same representation of a calm, trusted, truthful person that they can sort of rely on. And he immediately kind of knocks the whole Matrix red pill almost in a childish manner by saying that this whole red pill idea is sort of silly and stupid, and this was it was only cool a few years ago. Moving on.
You take the blue pill and the story ends. You take the red pill and we follow the white rabbit into The storm. Dry swallow. What is the storm? The storm is a new master conspiracy that's taking the internet by, let's just say it's big. Remember Pizzagate, the too crazy not to be true conspiracy that started on the internet but ended with a man shooting up a real pizza parlor with an...
Okay. Remember that time when we had that conspiracy? We're going to kind of throw you some headlines from liberal media, and we're going to kind of sweep it under the rug. And remember that last time that, we had this sort of crazy conspiracy and we never really followed into it, so we really never knew if it was just a conspiracy or a conspiracy theory. Remember when it was all debunked? And then he kind of wraps it up by saying, well, it ended with a man opening fire. Well, the story didn't end. A man did open fire in D.C. at Comet Pizza, but the story didn't end. That's a fact. However you feel about Pizzagate is irrelevant. The story didn't end there. He's saying it did.
AR-15? The storm is similar, but some experts predict it's poised to have an even more explosive real-world impact.
They're anticipating the QAnon movement, and they want to get out in front of a narrative.
Already spreading faster than Pizzagate, and it's big. So big that the main hashtag associated with it has been tweeted more than 5 million times since...
Gotta stop you there. Tweeted more than 5 million times. So he's already started off with the premise that this is a joke. He's just introducing you to the joke. 5 million times. Let's take you back to March 17th. Q finishes his post. Their post, excuse me. They think you were stupid. They think you will follow the stars. They openly call you sheep and cattle. This man is talking about 5 million tweets. And it's kind of brushing. He's not saying it directly, but he's kind of implying that 5 million people must be stupid.
It's late October. Even Sean Hannity retweeted a post mentioning QAnon, the shadowy figure at the center of the storm. And of course, this luminary's on board.
A lot of what QAnon has said, I already had gotten separately from my White House sources, my Pentagon sources. And yes, this is happening. The storm is real.
And Newsweek.
Okay. He calls out two main figures that are in the conservative world. One being what we all know is to be kind of a known commodity as sort of extreme, which is Alex Jones with InfoWars. And you notice that he uses a chopped up, highly edited video of Alex Jones being Alex Jones. I don't care what you think about Alex Jones, just telling you what the tactic is. They're choosing this to kind of sort of, put Alex Jones at the front of all these crazies. Notice he didn't use any video on Hannity. He wouldn't dare. We're going to stop on this headline as well, too, real quick.
Called it the biggest...
He's going to do this so fast you won't even notice it. Let me take you to this Newsweek article, how the storm became the biggest, and he doesn't say it. He kind of gives you a face, but he crosses out fake news story of 2018. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I just suggest to you the danger of this. They put an article, they highlight one word, cross out another. Well, that's not what the intended line was. Whether you agree with the intended title or not, it immediately changes it without even telling you that they changed it. But let's go just a little bit deeper. You won't be able to see this probably on the screen, but this is from Newsweek article, which is February 2nd. Okay, February 2nd, 2018. Well, this was very shortly after the end of February, the end of January. This is as of the New York Post, liberal media, where Manhattan DA raids and Newsweek headquarters. It was a breaking news story, but not exactly the type Newsweek was aching to report. About 24 investigators from the Manhattan District's Attorney's Office converged on the downtown newsroom of Newsweek on Thursday, taking photos of computers and servers, sources said. I'm not going to read the whole article. Look, this is liberal media reporting this. Not that I'm trying to make this a partisan issue at all, just pointing this out. So he changes the title from basically a publication that was being investigated for reporting fake news.
News story of 2018. But what exactly is the storm? Its thesis is pretty simple. You see, Robert Mueller isn't investigating Trump.
Sorry, I'm going to back you up just a bit. This is important to notice what he's about to do. So he says, what is the storm? He's going to ask you, what is the storm? Well, the thesis is pretty simple. He's going to wrap it up for you. Notice what happens to his pattern of speech afterwards. He's going to try and speak so fast to make basically the simple sound not so simple. Listen to it again.
News story of 2018. But what exactly is the storm? Its thesis is pretty simple.
Here we go.
You see, Robert Mueller isn't investigating Trump at all. In fact, Mueller's working for Trump, and his real target is a corrupt cabal of deep state globalists who he will round up and ship to Guantanamo. That series of arrests is referred to as the storm, and it's come. But let's back up. The storm started one sunny day last October when Trump said this.
Here's what this represents.
What storm, Mr. President?
We'll find out. Yeah.
A storm. You heard it. A statement like that had to be significant. He's not the kind of guy who likes being off the cuff.
I like being off the cuff.
Okay. So what he just did here is he took the complication of all this deep state activity, and then he referenced the president saying that he doesn't like to be off the cuff, which nobody's ever said. Nobody's ever said that. He said that. And then he references Trump contradicting. It makes it seem like Trump is contradicting himself when actually all he's doing is contradicting the wrong assessment that this man made. And the two are not related. I hope that makes sense.
No, this had to mean something. And you know who else knew it had to mean something? A mysterious figure known only as Q, or QAnon, who began posting about the storm on anonymous internet message boards like 4chan and 8chan, the only place to get unfiltered truth and uncensored tentacles.
Okay. He starts talking about 8chan, and he barely gets into 8chan. He just literally pops it up, and then he says, if you listen back, he says, the only place to get news. Really? So you're telling me that every major news outlet, regardless of their policies or politics, are all hovering 8chan to try and figure out the news? We all know that's not true. I don't care who you are. We all know that 8chan is not the sole source for news. We all know that. What 8chan is, it's a place for people to post anonymously, and they can do whatever they want with that. It's kind of a free open space. A lot of people do great things with it by posting lots of really important material, and a lot of people have good intentions. And then of course it's a marketplace for a lot of crazy stuff. And of course that's I'm sorry about the image there. But this is really to show them sort of the extreme wacky nature and stupid nature by basically just flashing a stupid image in front and kind of using that counterpoint by saying it's the only place that, we go for news. Flashing this image, and then he's going to quickly move on.
Q claims to be a high-level government agent with top-secret security clearance.
Not true. Q makes no claims. Q is a level of security clearance.
Which makes sense because he has so much time to post on the internet.
Well, if you're military intel, you have all day to post on the internet.
3 weeks after Trump's cryptic storm reference, Q made his first post predicting that Hillary Clinton would be arrested on October 30th, 2017, which definitely happened because followers noticed her orthopedic boot must be covering up an ankle monitoring bracelet, and is the only reasonable interpretation of this picture.
And it's the only reasonable interpretation of this picture. His words, not ours, but he places them kind of on us. You see what we're saying there? We all know that's not the only interpretation. We know she's clumsy. We know she's fallen before. She fell in India just last week. We all know that's not the only interpretation. Let me offer you another interpretation. Here's a close-up on Hillary's boot, and I'm going to zoom in here if I can. Now, if you remember, and I'm not going to go into the links, she said she broke her toe. That's her toe, right there, the only part uncovered by the boot. Do what you want with it. Incidentally, at that same time, and we all know it, John McCain was kind of in that little incident where he had the boot, and he was giving it a break, so he put it on the other foot, because we all do that. Who else was wearing a boot at that time? Oh, let's have some fun with this. Huma Abedin was wearing a boot. That's a boot. Looks like a boot to me. Who else was wearing a boot? Oh, remember? Representative Jackie Walorski, she was wearing a boot. All the same week, all these clumsy people. Jackie Spire was wearing a boot. She had a boot. A lot of people wearing a boot. Didn't mention that in this little QAnon debunker video.
Since that first post in late October, Q's been dropping cryptic clues called crumbs almost daily. His legion of followers then collect these crumbs. They call themselves bakers, which makes sense because that's what bakers do. They bake cakes from the crumbs of other staler cakes.
To be fair, that is a little weird.
Most crumbs are questions that invite readers to draw their own conclusion. Take, for example, this real post from last month that I will now read verbatim. He's about to give you a succinct analysis of something really, really, really esoteric and stupid sounding. Think image drop. Think OP. Think united. When does a bird sing? Everything has meaning. Could be a capital I or a lowercase l. Q.
Okay. Let's go to that very post about the image drop. Excuse me. Think image drop. Think OP, think united, when does a bird sing, everything has meaning. Well, the theory on this board is that OP is original poster or operation. Now, for those of you who like to comment and correct me or whatever, I'm showing you as I hover over there, that's their interpretation, not mine. Original poster or operation. However, think united. United, February 13. What could that possibly mean? On February 13, ABC reports United flight from San Francisco to Hawaii lands safely after engine fails over Pacific. I'm not going to go into this, but there you go. You can see that's clearly not good. And this was an incident that happened in Hawaii on February 13th. Fact. Okay, there you go. Taking you back to the video.
So elegant. So clear. You see, Q is like Socrates, or someone who doesn't have enough information to make statements.
Q is like Socrates. He forces us to use the Socratic method. Whether or not you believe in Q or not, or believe in the message, there's clearly something there. Does Q not make statements? Q makes statements all the time. Q made a statement about 4 a.m. on Wednesday, and 4 a.m. on Wednesday, we had the bomber blow himself up in Texas, as you'll see in my latest video. I'm not going to show you all the times that Q has made definite statements. If you can't see that, you're not paying attention to Q.
Luckily, bakers are here to connect the dots. Some theorize that the image drop is Obama's portrait, OP, and United Airlines now flies nonstop to Cuba. It's a commercial airline which evades deep state leakers. Birds sing when they're caged. So, Q is telling us that Obama is flying United to Gitmo, where he'll confess.
Not even close.
It's pretty obvious if you ask me.
And there it goes again. It's pretty obvious if you ask me. A, we didn't ask you. It's not that obvious. But he likes to sort of succinctly wrap that up. Again, this is your first exposure to Q. You have to think about this, okay? Picture as if you didn't know anything about what was going on. This is your first actual exposure to Q, is this video. This is how you're going to feel about it before even getting any facts.
Sure, critics call the storm a coping mechanism for people who can't accept a world where Trump isn't winning.
I believe that would be a classic example of projection there about people who have not. Trump won. Trump is winning. Trump's been winning. This movement has been winning. I believe it is your movement that's having a hard time coping, but feel free to project. We've never seen that technique.
But I can't accept that. Instead, I prefer this.
Even he said he can't accept that.
Simple, soothing idea at the heart of the story. That everything that looks bad for Trump is actually good for Trump.
There you go again. Now we're again using almost these playground techniques. We learned these techniques when we were children, folks. Everything is bad for the Trump, must be good for Trump. I don't even know what that means, and it has nothing to do with Q.
And while that's the center of the storm, there are even grander ideas living at the fringe. That's right, we haven't even gotten to the fringe yet. You see, the storm is a sort of master conspiracy that connects every conspiracy you already know is true. The dossier, the Vegas shooting, an inside job. The deep state connected to Big Pharma and the Illuminati, and, say it with me, the Egyptian sun god Ra.
Okay, there we go again with the fast speech, and he kind of takes you to a sort of an extreme, kind of like the reference that he did with Alex Jones. He kind of highlights an extreme end of it and speaks really, really fast, and then he's going to move off the topic before we have a time to even have a moment to kind of digest that what he said is really, pretty false. It has a lot of false pretenses there.
Yeah, just for a moment.
Okay. Now all of a sudden we have a shakeup.
Author and journalist Kurt Anderson, what are you doing here? You're not an expert on this.
Well, I kind of am an expert on this. I just published a book called Fantasyland about...
Okay, I want to stop you here. This is Kurt Anderson. He kind of is an expert. He published a book called Fantasyland. This is his book right here on Twitter, Kurt Anderson. He is a liberal writer, which is fair. Sounds like a pretty intelligent guy. I'm not going to go way into him, but he is all of a sudden coming to our resident expertise. Now, I want to, the reason why I want to talk about this particular shot here is that there's something set up here, and you can agree with me or not, but I'm telling you, this is from my film experience. People plan this stuff out very, very carefully. First of all, we have our character that we've already established, that whether it's Morpheus, whether you want to believe the Obama thing or not, I'm just saying, this was our trusted character, still in the foreground, still relevant. That's why he's placed in the foreground, but no longer facing us. Now there's no equal ground here. Everything is shifted. The attention now has shifted to Mr. Anderson. Even the television, even the alignment of the wires, everything shifts here to show that we are all concentrating on this expert who is, kind of an expert. Would you ever go to a doctor that says, well, I kind of am a doctor? No, he's not really an expert. Probably a very intelligent man, and I'm not saying anything negative about this man. I don't know this man. It's not an attack on this man. Just telling you where we're going with this video and why it's set up visually that way.
How these kinds of nutty conspiracy theories and all kinds of magical thinking really are...
Okay, highly intelligent man. The first thing that he says about this is that it's nutty and magical.
Pretty fundamental to the American character.
So you're saying there's nothing more American than a conspiracy? We're saying the same thing.
No, we're not. People can look at something like...
Again, there's that same sort of representation. He's all the way in the foreground, but he's not even, it's as if we're not even here. And now he's back there. Everything is focused on here. Even though he's not in the middle, the attention shift is still on him. And if you'll notice that in between them is the opposition. There's an obstacle there.
This and say, hey, that's goofy, that's silly, that's funny. But there are a lot of people in the millions who take this kind of thing very seriously. That's where it can get dangerous.
Okay, so now they reference the millions again. They think we're stupid. But now, if you notice, now the music got dark. Okay, we started off, this was a lot of canned laughter, this was a lot of fast talking, and this was a lot of kind of, sort of fool's errand kind of referencing. But now this is taking a serious tone. We got the strings moving, and he used the word dangerous, implying that the people involved in this movement could be radical, they could be dangerous. Even people like you and I, who were just trying to find the truth, now all of a sudden we're very, very dangerous. We already saw this happen with YouTube and Facebook and Twitter. Now here we're getting way into the mainstream. This is dangerous. Here's our host. Now he's in the center of the frame, still not referencing us. It's not important enough to reference us. They think we're stupid. He's looking at the expert. He's serious. This is not a game anymore.
Now it's reached members of Congress and the president, who is really a kind of conspiracy theorist in chief, right?
Again, sort of a rhetorical, right? As if we all believe that and take that to be general knowledge.
Birtherism, a conspiracy. Millions of people illegally voting, a conspiracy.
Both fact, birtherism I'm not going to get into, voter fraud being exposed in embarrassing numbers.
The storm is just a short hop, skip away from those kinds of thinking.
So conspiracies are heading mainstream.
Yeah.
Awesome.
No!
Okay, so this is them literally telling us that they're going to beat us to the punch with this narrative. They're going to make sure that they dispel this all, and that as soon as you understand that the first time that you hear about this QAnon movement, you're already going to have the narrative that it's been debunked, it's not okay, it's related to dangerous radical thinking. This guy, this expert's telling you it's not okay. What are we going to do about it?
No!
Be gone, Mr. Anderson.
Okay. Now he says, be gone, Mr. Anderson. But now he's not looking at Mr. Anderson. The one time he's actually saying Mr. Anderson, he's not looking at him. He's looking at us. He's taken his control back. He's looking at us. He's in control now. He's in control of the narrative. And this silly QAnon thing's going to magically disappear. That's the end of the article right there. I hope that you guys like it. That skit is from Comedy Central. You're welcome to watch it. It's The Opposition with Jordan Klepper. I can't link it, or I'm going to link it to the YouTube page of Citizens Investigative Report. I want to thank her for allowing me to. I kind of pirated it, basically. I just stole your video. I stole your video, Citizens Investigative Report. What are you going to do about it? Thank you for all you do. I really, really appreciate this channel. Okay, for those of you, if you like this video, please click like, subscribe, and share. I will be doing some more QAnon research regarding some of the last 48 hours posts, and that's going to be coming out very, very shortly after I finish a little bit more research. So please, again, click like, subscribe, share, blah, blah, blah. Until then, stay cool, stay faithful, stay positive, stay hungry. I'm Sir Patrick Mack with In Pursuit of Truth.